my name is Gabriel and you are watching rptv News. On Wednesday, June 12th, residents and community stakeholders gathered at the UN Urban Pavilion in Regent Park for Regent Park Connect, a public event hosted by the Employment and Economic Development (EED) Working Group of the Regent Park Social Development Plan. The event spotlighted the Workforce Integration Project, a collaborative effort aimed at addressing employment gaps and creating clear job pathways for residents. With free food and child minding services offered on site, the event ensured that families and working individuals alike could participate fully. In the context of Regent Park's transformation into a mixed-income community, events like this carry significant civic weight. As new developments bring investment into the area, there is growing pressure to ensure that long-time residents are not left behind. The EED Working Group, in partnership with local employers and service providers, is working to bridge the divide between emerging economic opportunities and Regent Park residents. Regent Park Connect served not only as an information session, but as a call to action, underscoring the need for equitable access to employment in one of Toronto's most rapidly changing neighbourhoods. Elena Mirza Tagizadeh, co-chair of the Employment and Economic Development Working Group, welcomed attendees and provided a brief overview of the group's goals.
Thank you very much, for your attendance. I appreciate all of you from different organizations, from the community centers and the community and the residents, of course, yet. I love all of you and appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming. And the name of our events today is Regent Park Connect. The reason that we have selected this name is just, to get the connection with the residents as well as the organizations, so it would be easier to come together, socialize, understand what the EED is doing and how they are really managing the work for the Regent Park residents and with what type of organizations we are connected.
She explained that the EED Working Group is focused on creating pathways to employment, training, and economic opportunities for Regent Park residents.
All right. So we are going, to just get a little bit of the explanation that what it is the employment economic and what are our goals. As you can see, the EED stands for the Employment Economic Development. We have the three main goals in the EED. One of those is to support small business development and growth. Means we are here for the entrepreneurs that they will give them the connection to the organizations or take their hands for the better life, the higher economy, and help them to grow in the community. The other ones that we are advocating for the equitable employment opportunity. That is the same one, but this one, it goes through our workforce integrator. It is just a connection between the job seekers in the community and the organizations that they are providing a job. Even the service providers that they are preparing them based on their interest, the type of the job that they are looking for. It could be the part-time job, it could be the full-time jobs. We connect them with the different service provider organizations. Each organization and service providers, they pick up a couple of the people that they are interested in some certain jobs or they have some certain skills. If they need, in between, if they need any type of the certification or maybe qualifications, to be taken by the job seekers, all those steps also is going. We are providing based on the budget that we have. This type of a connection from the community to the organizations, it is free of the cost for the residents of the Regent Park area, and all it will be handled by the EED group due to the budget that we are taking from the City of Toronto. This budget is not very big, but we have some certain budget that we are spending for the certification, for the training program if they need, if we have to provide some workshop to them, that they get to that level of the expertise to be prepared for the job. Of course, also they are going through the mock interview, they are going through the preparation of the resume. All these will be done by the YSM, Dixon Hall, Fred Victors, that they have a connection with us. And of course, the things that really we want from you as a third goal that we put, the engagement of the residents of the Regent Park with the EED. I know most of you, but I can't come to your house and ask you, are you looking for a job? Are you looking for something? Do you want me to help you? Nobody is doing that. I would be happy if I know each and every one of you where you are living. I just come and knock the door and ask you. But I feel being a resident of the Regent Park, you have a little bit responsibility for yourself too. When you know this type of a facility are available in the community, so why not to connect us directly? Why not to spread this word among the other residents of the Regent Parks? Why not, to get this information to your loved ones, to your friends, to your schools, to other people that, okay, we have the employment economic development and they have the workforce integrator projects. Why not joining them? Put your name, send your resume, ask them what type of a job you are looking for, what you want, what is your specialty, what you are really needed to do that. So this is the things that we need from you, and the other things is the feedback from you. If we are doing good, okay, in some certain area, how we are going to do good. If we are not doing enough, what you are expecting from us, just list it. What are the challenges that you are facing, and we have to address those challenges? What are the advantages that you can get from us through the organizations that we are connecting together? So these are the things that we are expecting from you, and of course the feedback we are taking from the Regent Park area residents.
Thank you, Elena. So Elena, that was our co-chair. Before I get started, we actually have Tiffany from Toronto Community Housing to tell you a little bit about the upcoming votes.
Tiffany Lambert, the acting manager of revitalization and renewal communities at Toronto Community Housing, gave a presentation about the upcoming vote that will help decide how $26.8 million in community investment funds will be used over the next decade or more. This funding, made possible through the partnership between Toronto Community Housing and Tridel as part of phases 4 and 5 of the revitalization, represents a major step forward in building a stronger, more inclusive Regent Park.
So Tiffany, if we can have you come up.
Hi, everyone. I'm used to having to project my voice, so it's nice to have a mic. Just to introduce myself, my name is Tiffany Lambert. I'm the acting manager of revitalization and the engagement team in Toronto Community Housing. I'm brand new to the team. I started in May, but I'm not brand new to TCHC, so it's lovely to meet all of you guys today. I wanted to have a brief conversation around the community benefits vote. That's starting, and our first voting opportunity is actually in about 2 days on Friday. To start off this presentation, I have to mention that many of the graphics that you're going to see in my presentation is very much meaningful to us. It's actually done by a graphic designer who lives in Regent Park and assisted us with all the promotional materials. So as you're navigating throughout your community, you're going to see a lot of great posters and promotional materials for this event, and it comes from an amazing graphic designer within our community. So let's get started in terms of the community benefits vote. So I'm going to be talking about an overview of community benefits. What is community benefits? What am I speaking about to you guys today, as well as the engagement process? I'll have an overview over the community vote, the process, how to vote, and the actual community benefits package. And I'll also be speaking about where you can find us, where you can put your vote in, where you can learn more information, and who is eligible to vote. So just an overview of the community benefits and voting. So the community benefit speaks to a $26.8 million community benefits package or an investment into Regent Park through our development partners of Tridel in efforts to, in the next phases 4 and 5 of the revitalization. So the last remaining phases in Regent Park. The community plays a huge role in this piece because you guys are going to be voting on how we prioritize funds to be spent in Regent Park. And we've already identified 3 priority areas, or benefits packages we like to call it, that you will be voting on. Now comes the time for the actual vote. So we did all the work to collect the information on what we're actually voting on, but now we want to hear back from the community on what package that means to them the most through our voting process. And just to give you an overview of how we even engage the community in regards to the community benefits vote, it started off in spring, summer of 2023, where we conducted a survey. We collected over 1,000 submissions from the community, as well as with collaboration with TCHC, Tridel, and our work, CBOG, our community oversight group, as well as community reports like the social development plan, to be able to determine how we can be able to make these benefit packages. In 2023, we analyzed the feedback. We created those community benefits packages based on those submissions and based on that information. And now we're here today, where we basically are going to be starting off that vote with the first voting opportunity on June 14th. So what is actually included in these community benefits packages? So we have initiatives around employment, initiatives around funding community initiatives, community space. So space like, for example, to host these community initiatives that we're talking about. Scholarships for part-time and full-time studies, job skills training, as well as business and social procurement opportunities. So with the creating of the packages, these are all parts that the community has spoke on and things that they want to see within their community. The funding is to be distributed between the next 10 to 15 years. And we'll plan to do more priority settings throughout that process to make sure we're still on the right track. We'll be engaging youth as well as other populations as too, to make sure that they're also part of those priority settings too as well. So our actual packages, so this is actually a clip from our brochure. I have some brochures on the table on the other side of the window over there, so you guys can be able to see. Feel free to take a package and read it at home. But this is an overview of all 3 of the packages. So one important thing, or 2 important things to mention, I should say, $13.4 million are going directly to wages for employment opportunities for folks with Tridel and their partners. So not just construction related employments, but also things that partners that Tridel has and their companies, as well as to be able to provide wages to the community. $3.5 million will go into community grants and initiatives. So this is not to be meant to be given to agencies. This is for resident-led initiatives within the community. So now down to the actual meat and potatoes, the actual packages. So what makes each package different? So first package is the community space. So $6 million is the focus for this community package that will go into 20,000 square foot of space. We also have an opportunity for $2 million into scholarships, which works out to be 400 scholarships. And then 1.9 into job skills and community businesses. So just to break that down a little bit more into that 1.9, 1.3 is actually going to be going into job skill training with the 600,000 into community local businesses. Before I go into package 2, I probably should explain too, many of the packages you see, the allocations are where they're going is like the same topics, but the allocation is different. That's how you determine what your priority is. So where you want to see your priority in terms of those packages is determines on funding. So package 2, the priority is around scholarships. You can see there's a larger allotment for 3.8 provided to scholarships. We still are going to be providing $4.5 million to community space for 12,500 square foot of community space. And we're still keeping to the $1.6 million to job skills training, with $1 million going to actual job skills training and $600,000 to local businesses, grants for local businesses. And our last and final package is focus on job skill training and employment, with a larger amount going to $3.6 million going over to that overall bucket, 1.8 million going to scholarships, and 4.5 going to 10,000 square feet of community space. So as you can see in all 3 packages, we're pretty much providing very similar investment areas. So community space, education, through scholarship funding, as well as job skill training and supporting local businesses, but the priorities are determined by the amounts that are provided. So as you can see, they're in the larger bubbles of the colors too as well. So this is just an overview. We're gonna have more conversations over the next 6 to 8 weeks about the details. If you have any questions, please feel free to find me after we're conversing and during our other parts of this workshop. So where are you gonna find us? Where are the opportunities for you guys to vote? So our first opportunity is at our Summer Jam, which is this Saturday between 12 to 6 p.m. If you feel like, you know what, it's too early for me to vote, I wanna find out some more information first, there's gonna be 4 information sessions throughout this voting period. So 2 in June, 2 in July, where there'll be rolling presentations and opportunities for folks to ask questions and an opportunity for folks to vote. This is open to the entire community, so residents of TCHC and market buildings too as well. We also have a Youth Vote Day event that will be on July 11th. We're partnering with the Youth Table to coordinate an event just for youth. Our goal is to have 200 to 300 youth to vote in this process. So we really want youth to come out because this is gonna be something that's rolled out in the next 10 to 15 years. We'll also have a closing event, so that'll be our last opportunity, large-scale event to vote. And if you, just in case you miss all these different events, there'll be one more opportunity on August 1st at our local office at 530 Dundas to be able to cast your vote too as well. Oops. Right before I go on to the next topic, I will mention these are not our only opportunities to vote. These are just our TCHC-led events. We will be at events like Taste of Regent Park. We're gonna be at Pride tomorrow. If there's any agencies that are in the audience today and they want us to come out to do a presentation like this, please reach out to me after. We're more than willing to come out to provide more opportunities for folks to vote. And we'll also be doing door blitzes, which is door-to-door opportunities for residents of TCHC to vote. So how the vote works. So Regent Park residents 14 years and over are eligible to vote. So that includes TCHC as well as market residents for a one-time vote. You only could cast your vote once. Voting will happen on an electronic ballot where you can vote on more than one package. The reason for that is we want to see your top priority. So the top priority is going to vote, but we also want to see your second and third priority item too as well. So we can kind of understand what other priorities you may have, and we could use that for other opportunities too as well. Like I mentioned, our target is for 200 to 300 youth to vote, but our overall target is for 1,000 plus folks to vote. So we received about 1,000, a little bit over 1,000 for our surveys. So we want something similar to that amount. We really want to know the priorities that the Regent Park residents have in regards to the allocation of funds. So in this voting process, like I mentioned, it's a ranked ballot. The voting is anonymous and confidential. The package that receives the overall ranking of 50% or more is the preferred package. So they are the, I guess, quote unquote winner. And the type of ranked voting, like I mentioned, is just so we could be able to see what the other priorities are. So that's why we kept it not just one or nothing. We want to see what the other priorities are for folks. So who's actually eligible to vote? Like who can actually cast their ballot within Regent Park? So you have to be a Regent Park resident. We mentioned in terms of, I have a pamphlet too as well to show in terms of the parameters of folks in Regent Park. All voters must register with TCHC staff. So there is a registration part just to confirm that you are within the footprint of Regent Park. For youth, we really want youth to come out. So we want to create a barrier-free way for youth to vote. So there is no, we're not asking for any proof of address or IDs, because we do recognize that youth will have a hard time providing those kind of information. But for market residents, just a proof of address for 18 plus, or for TCHC residents, just a proof of ID, because we have our own internal systems to look that up. If you are someone who may know somebody that may not have those identifying documents, reach out to us, because there is an opportunity for agencies to vouch on behalf of folks to vote, because we do recognize that people may not have identification to be able to vote that, like for example, like an ID or a driver's license or all those kind of ID identifications. So the vote is captured through an online form, like I mentioned before, it's electronic ballot. And then once the vote is complete, like once we got to August 1st, TCHC, Tridel, and Community Benefits Oversight Working Group will provide the number of the first choice, second choice, and third choice. We will then communicate back to the community what the actual preferred vote is. I will mention too as well, every person who votes has an opportunity to also enter themselves into a raffle. So once we complete the confidential part, there will be a screen that pops up. You'll see on your screen once you guys vote to be able to enter yourself into a raffle. There is 4 opportunities to vote. So 4 opportunities to win, sorry. So there's a vote. There are going to be prizes at the 250 mark, the 500 mark, the 750 mark, and the 1,000 mark. So there's 4 opportunities for folks to be able to win a prize. Oops. And that is pretty much the end of my presentation. So I know it's a lot of information very quickly. So please feel free to connect with me and come to our information sessions and our events that I mentioned before. We also have all this information I provided on our website on rp4n5.ca. We have talk@regentpark@torontohousing.ca and our phone number too. So please feel free to ask us any questions. And I hope to see all of you guys at some of the voting stations across the summer. So thanks, guys, for your time. I appreciate it. And who's next?
Dr. Glenroy Williams, Workforce Engagement Supervisor at Yonge Street Mission, delivered an inspiring and motivational presentation that energized the room. Centered on the themes of talent, opportunity, and potential, Dr. Williams introduced what he calls the Top Yet cycle, a powerful framework that encourages individuals to recognize their inherent abilities, seize opportunities, and believe in their potential, even when success feels just out of reach.
I have 5 minutes to tell you that you have value. I have 5 minutes to tell you that all of this is for you. And oftentimes we go through life where we don't really recognize our value because we've been put down and we've been let down so many times before. Not just by friends, not just by people you know, but by family. But I want to let you know, the whole focus here is to help you become the best version of yourself. So I want to take a moment to go through something I call the Top Yet framework. And so the Top Yet framework is simple. Top comes from my mother, and yet. So let me break that down. As a young man, I grew up in, how do I say it? It's not poverty like you know poverty. It's poverty where it's salt, white rice, and oftentimes a little bit of butter 3 times a day. Anybody ever had that? Try it. Salt, butter, and rice is good. But that's what we had because we had nothing. But my mom would always say one thing. A time will come when things will get better. She said, you're not there yet, but things will get better. So as I, go through life, I understand it this way. Top stands for T, talent. You've got an intrinsic talent inside of you that you were born with. So you were born with certain skills that nobody else on this earth has. And sometimes we lose that basic standard of who we are. So you have talent. Some of you have gone to school and you've developed new talents. Combine all the talents you have. That's your starting point. Second, you have opportunity. Coming to Canada, I had opportunity. You have opportunity right now because you're standing in this space or you're sitting in this space where people genuinely care about your success. So the opportunity is there for you to take it and do something with it. Now, some of you might say, this is not the kind of opportunity that I am looking for. Every opportunity, if you look at it properly, you're going to find some good nuggets inside of it. The next part of that is potential. That's the thing that you have the capacity to do. There's something called neuroplasticity. It's your ability for your brain to learn new things. How many of you learned to ride a bicycle? How many of you can't ride a bicycle right now? It's easy. Just fall down a couple times, get up, go back on it, and ride it again, and you will learn. But your brain will adapt. Now, with all of this, what does yet have to do with it? Let's go through, for example, talent plus yet. I have skills now, but I can grow further. You see that? Wherever you are, you can become better. If somebody says, well, your English is not good, thank you, ma'am. I'm going to work on that. You got to be able to grow. That's the not yet piece. Opportunity. This chance isn't perfect yet. Because you got to take what you got and you've got to work it, mold it. And every place you stand, anywhere you go right now, any job you're in, any potential job you're in, if you really take a moment and look at that job, there's somebody that don't have a job. Even if you're making $17, $20 an hour, there's somebody making $0. It doesn't make sense, right? Like, $17, what do you think? Well, 0 and 17, what do you want? I'll take the 17. Because then I can build from that. Potential. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm willing to work towards that. Finally, I want to say to you, you are special in the sense that you have extreme value. That's why Ismail is here. That's why Elaine is here. That's why all these programs are here. So know your value and walk in it. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you, Glenn, for that wonderful, inspiring presentation.
Ismail Mohammed, the workforce integrator for the EED, shared the goals, impact, and vision of the Workforce Integration Project and how it's building a more connected and equitable future for employment in Regent Park.
Workforce Integration, it's a project by EED funded by Metcalf in the City of Toronto. So in this project, a little bit of background information. So this project came to be to address the issues in this community. We have so many organizations here in this community, so many businesses, so many employment services, so much over here, so much resources, and everyone with the goal of supporting this community. The difficulty, the problem, the barrier is a lot of organizations happen to work in silos. It's difficult connecting with other organizations. You don't know who to contact over there. You don't know if they're going to share the same vision as you. And so that's one of the reasons why this project is here. And then in order to exercise that, we utilize a network weaving approach. So we go into the community, we see who's there, we find out what their goals are, and we find what the overlaps are with the other organizations, and we make those connections. We want to leverage the existing capacities. We're not here to reinvent the wheel. We understand that there's services over here for everyone. We understand that there's so many resources here for everyone. We just want to connect the residents to those organizations, to those resources. And this project is owned by EED. EED is a community organization. So this project is community owned, community led, and for the community. Some of the goals. So just an umbrella. Like I said in the previous slide, it's to connect this fragmented employment ecosystem by leveraging existing capacity and infrastructure of the Regent Park neighborhood. So one is to strategically increase the partnerships. So like I said, we're trying to learn about more organizations that are here or organizations that are trying to come into this community, and we want to increase our network. We want to make this network stronger, and we want to make sure that we have the resources to support you in your unique ways. We want to support the residents to become suitable job candidates. We want to develop a qualified candidate pool, exercising our network, our reach, our contacts We want to make sure anyone looking for work knows about this program, knows about this project, and that they know to connect with us so that we have this candidate pool for any employers looking to hire. And we want to understand and foster the strength of this network. So again, not here to reinvent the wheel. We want to see what exists over here. We want everyone to connect with each other, and we want to strengthen this network. So in simple terms, what workforce integration basically does is creating a clear employment pathway for job seekers. You might be looking for work, but you don't know where to go, you don't know where to apply, you don't know what services are out there for you. This project aims to provide that. So we're using our network of employment services, like I said, our employers, the developers here as well, and local residents to inform, lead, and direct this project. And of course, we're working together to bring the employment to the community. So what's in it for our employers? So through our employment service agencies, we have Fred Victor, YSM, Dixon Hall, all here tonight. So we have free recruitment services. So we help with the employers over here basically find the best qualified candidate for them. And we look within our community here. So we do the same thing that recruitment agencies do, we just do it for free. And we want to facilitate connections to these local networks. We understand that the businesses and organizations want to tap into this community. We have access to those networks, and we want to help you make those connections to those networks. We also assist with certification. So if someone's looking to get their Smart Serve, their food handling, certificates like that, there's funding for that. And then there can also be funding for uniform. And then more about our strategic outreach efforts. So we have door drops to make sure that every house in this neighborhood gets knocked on and gets contacted and informed about this project and opportunities of this project. We have the community mobile app called Hello Neighbor. Anyone on the App Store can look it up right now, Hello Neighbor, and you can download it today. And we also have other virtual channels, emails. I know there's a lot of informal networks and a lot of informal group chats and things like that that we're trying to tap into as well. And I, the workforce integrator, will also be present at in-person meetings and public areas in this community to expand our network. And for the job seekers, just to put it into perspective, let's say you just moved into the neighborhood, you're looking for work, but you don't know where to go. Some of the questions that you might think of, where do you find these jobs? How do you create a resume? How do you type up a cover letter? What kind of skills do I need for the interview? Through this project, we will help you in all those areas and more with the help of our employment services. Now, who qualifies for these supports? Which job seekers qualify for these supports? You must be legally able to work in Canada. So either you're a citizen, you have a work permit, you're a permanent resident, and then you have to be available to work over 20 hours a week. You can be on Ontario Works, ODSP, things like that. That is fine. You just have to be willing to work, you have to be able to work over 20 hours a week for an extended period of time. And you have to be 18 years or older and a resident of Regent Park. So 3 things. You must be legally able to work, you have to be able to work over 20 hours, and you have to be 18 years or older. Some of our project partners, we have Daniels, Tridel, Toronto Community Housing, who you heard from. We have Dixon Hall here with YSM, and also Fred Victor. So just a quick summary about everything I just said. I know that was a lot of information. So we're aiming to collectively strengthen the employment ecosystem of Regent Park by connecting and listening to each other, fostering and expanding a network of employment services, employers, and job seekers, supporting each accordingly. I went over some of the benefits. We have unique benefits to job seekers, we have benefits to employers, and we have different benefits to employment services. So make sure you sign up for the workforce integration. That's my email address over there. I'm Mohammed@ysm.ca. And also, I'll be here for the rest of the evening, so you can always connect with me. Thank you for listening. Just really quickly, if there's any questions, you can ask me now, or you can come find me later on. But if there's any questions, feel free to raise your hand and let me know. Looking around. Yes. Good question. So the question was, are there jobs available right now, or is this something I'm working towards? So we have jobs that get shared with this project all the time. So jobs come and go. And we're currently developing the candidate pool like I talked about. And they basically get sent any jobs that come to workforce integration. And we're working on expanding the list of people sharing the jobs with us. So yes, it is a work in progress. And yes, we do have jobs right now. So an example right now we have jobs through with an organization that does architecture. So there's entry-level positions of people that just graduated, people looking for internships or even placement. So there's about 5 positions, right? 4 jobs and 1 internship through that contact. Those jobs are architecture related. So architecture and civil engineering. So that's it for the presentations. We're gonna get into the activity. But before we do that, Elena would like to speak. Elena, go ahead.
Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this informative session. But I would like to say thank you to all the people that they have joined us today. And I'm going to introduce from the end of the salon one by one, that they are there, that you know who they are from where they are. Maybe I'm just going by their first name. And then you can approach them later on when Ismail will announce. All right, the first table, I think it was from YSM, service providers. The second one, that's, yes, Michelle from the Fred Victors. The third one is Nadia from Dixon Hall we have. And the fourth one we have from the fashion schools. Yeah, the fashion schools, George Brown College, which is over here in front of the Daniel Spectrum. If you see the George Brown, they are from there. Well, I'm sorry, I have a bad memory of the name. Sharon. And then Angelina. Ginny, thank you very much. Sharon and Ginny from the George Brown College Fashion School. And then we have the Osa from the Scotia Bank. Thank you very much, Osa. Just please, go to her. She's very lovely already. She is collaborating with us to get the couple of jobs to the job seekers. And then over here we are going thank you very much to Ken's. It's from the RBC Bank, and I appreciate that for the first time that we approached him, he accepted our invitation for this program. I highly appreciate, and hopefully we are going to collaborate and really do the more connections through the RBC Bank and even the residents, if they need. And then we have the Tiffany. Where is Tiffany? Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Tiffany. Tiffany from the TCHC. Over here we have the Haisang from the YSM again. Thank you very much. We have the Asal from the Tridal. And we have, I'm sorry, I'm bad in the name. Beside the Haisang? Jennifer, that newly they have joined the YSM. And they are collaborating with them. Appreciate all of you, and of course the rest are the residents that you can just go through, find whomsoever you like, talk to them and ask them what are their services. I appreciate all. Just get back to the smile. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now I want to hear from everyone. So we have a little activity. What I'm going to do is we're gonna split up into 4. And then I'm going to leave you with some paper, some pens, and some sticky notes. And in those groups, we will be writing down our answers to these questions. There's no right or wrong. I just want to hear from you. So the questions are, what will help increase your job hunting confidence? What services, training, supports will help you increase the likelihood of getting hired? And which job streams, industries would you like an employment pathway to? And I skipped one. What job supports would you like to see offered to Regent Park residents? So now you have a chance to tell me how I can help you better. So Shazeb, if you can help out, Shazeb will be handing out paper. We're gonna split up into 4. So just some instructions. So on that piece of paper that you have over there, you have a sticky pad with that. Each one of you will answer these questions on that sticky pad and then stick it onto that piece of paper. So if you can If you can divide that piece of paper into 4 quadrants, 1 quadrant for each question. So please write on the sticky notes and then put the sticky notes onto that piece of paper.
The event included with an interactive group activity where residents were invited to share their thoughts, ideas, and lived experiences. All of the feedback collected will be used to help shape and refine the workforce integration project, ensuring it remains rooted in the realities of Regent Park residents and responsive to their evolving needs.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit us on all our social media platforms. Please visit our website for more information.